Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm feeling a bit better, a bit body sore, but my blood pressure is sort of normal and the nausea is gone. So that alone is a massive improvement. Dragon Man is now fully into the exams and everything is going well except for mathematics. I think he lost a lot in mathematics last year and now he is struggling this year because not only is the work more complicated, but the volume is 3 times what it was. Everything else is fine and the worst nervousness is now over. Now it is just getting on with it and getting through it. I cannot wait. Anyway, royals. Let's do royals. I think many of you noticed that William hosted the last garden party. He looked dashing as always, but it was a little sad not to see Catherine by his side. Hopefully by next year she will dazzle attendees with her smile again. I heard a journalist, and I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but he said in an interview that meeting William is actually more impressive than one could imagine because he is far taller and much more imposing than what comes across in photographs and videos. Anyway, did you notice which royals attended the garden party? Well, Prince Richard, the Duke of Gloucester, and his wife, Mike and Zara Tyndall, Peter Phillips, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. It was truly a spectacular sight, even though it rained throughout. I think William understands that there is strength in numbers, and a show of family unity is exactly what the royal family needs now more than anything else. So many people are holding up the other European monarchies as examples of how few people can do the job. But none of the other royal families have 15 countries where the monarch is head of state and 56 Commonwealth countries who is in unison with Britain. It is indeed a large portion of the earth to serve and pay attention to. Certainly not a job for 2 or even 4 people. If there is cutting and slimming down to do, I would suggest starting with real estate and not people. Of course, that is my humble opinion. Anyway, the garden party prompted me to wanting to talk to you about the royal cousins, but I changed my mind. Instead, for today, I'm going to stick to our new format and go on over to Harry and Meghan because, after all, Harry is or was one of the royal cousins. But lately, he's not even that anymore. I know many are still sticking to the Eugenie was the mole story, but that is just balderdash. And even if it was true at some point, it is no longer the case. There was a falling out during her last visit to California, and that also ended the friendship. What exactly it was all about, no one knows. All I was told is that there was allegedly some snapping going on between Meghan and Eugenie, and Harry took Meghan's part. And that was the end of the story as far as I know. Anyway, we can delve into that some other time, but take it from me. The York sisters tried to stay out of the family politics and squabbles, but if put to the test, both of them are definitely now Team Royal. Okay, moving on. Look, I know I sound like a broken record, but goodness, how on earth can, number 1, the monarch, number 2, the government, and number 3, the British people allow the scenario with Harry and Meghan to continue? It is becoming crazier and crazier by the day, and it really is making the monarchy, the government, and the British people look bad. I can't tell you how many snide remarks I've personally heard. Things like, gosh, if they can't even control 2 dumb ex-royals, How can they control and lead a country? So, what am I talking about this time? Well, yet another lie from the Prince of Montecito, or then a lie by omission. Whatever you want to call it, it is still a lie. You see, we were told via the media that Harry had put in a request to stay at Windsor Castle during his last stay in the United Kingdom for the 10th anniversary of Invictus. We were told that the request was declined. We were told that Harry went and stayed in a hotel, and I, for one, pointed out that Windsor Castle was something like 24 miles from St. Paul's Cathedral, so why would Harry not ask to stay at Buckingham Palace instead, which is just over 2 miles from St. Paul's? And why did Charles or his courtiers not offer Buckingham Palace as an alternative, seeing that it is so close? Well, now it is coming out that they did exactly that, but Harry declined. Now, why would Harry decline the offer? Well, because it did not come with Met or royal security. According to Harry, he would have been staying at a very visible location with a public entrance and exit points and no police protection. He thus chose to stay at a hotel as, according to him, he could come and go unseen. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. So because he didn't get what he wanted, he chose to stay in a hotel with no security except his own. I mean, Harry is officially insane. Who hasn't seen the security at Buckingham Palace? And if he sat at the back of an SUV and had the windows up and did not tell anybody where he was staying, nobody would have known. I mean, I love watching a channel which basically only has feed from Buckingham Palace all day long. Vehicles come and go, and unless the people get out or into one of the vehicles at the helicopter landing pad, most of the time you can't see who is in those blacked out limos or SUVs. If him and his wife did not blab to the world where he was staying, no one would have known. The public and tourists would not have known whether it was Prince Andrew or the ambassador of Tonga coming and going. It is also said that had Harry accepted the offer, the chances are that he would have met with and seen his father during or after his father's almost daily visits to the offices for whatever administration there is to be done, investitures, etc., etc. But the king was not going to travel to Windsor and back to see Harry for a couple of minutes. Had Harry stayed at Buckingham Palace with Clarence House but 5 or 10 minutes away, a meeting could have been arranged. I mean, really. So yet again, a lie sold as the truth to gain sympathy and to make the royal family, and in particular the king, look bad. Yet the king appears to just be taking it, and taking it regardless of how it makes him and his government look. And yes, I know he has cancer. I think our media reports on it far more openly and frankly than the British media. But if the king can attend a garden party, he can issue a few letters patent to Parliament. It is as simple as that. I spoke to a High Commissioner eons ago, and he said that, number one, Charles can remove a royal title without input from anyone. A letter's patent to make it official is issued to Parliament, where it has to be read within 40 days so that changes in records can be made. As for the peerage title, the ducal title, etc., in Harry's case, it is not a hereditary title or a landed title, meaning he did not inherit the title along with a piece of land, but it is an honorary royal title. However, according to British law, they do not make a distinction yet, and a change in the law was vetoed by Charles and Rishi Sunak, remember? Well, as things stand now, because it is an honorary royal title, the process to strip it has to start with Charles, with the king, with the monarch. But then again, it also needs to be approved and agreed on by Parliament. So yes, folks, these royal titles held by a pair of American grifters and liars makes everyone look bad. Harry's attempt to include Rupert Murdoch in his lawsuit against the British media failed. Harry tried to enlarge his privacy suit to include the media baron and sue him and others for allegedly concealing and destroying evidence of unlawful evidence gathering. But the court declined, and it was ruled that Harry could not expand the scope of his lawsuit. But guys, further proof that Harry has either lost his mind or is being led by the nose by someone is that the judge also had to refuse him permission to include charges pertaining to his mother dating back to 1995. I kid you not. How can his lawyer not know or tell him that you cannot file a suit on behalf of someone else, deceased or not? This, in my opinion, is one big scam, and I may be wrong, very, very wrong, but I think Harry, because he knows jack shit about anything, is being scammed by his flamboyant lawyer, David Sherborne. Remember, every filing costs Harry money. Anyway, guys, so that is my story for today. I'll see you soon with new and more fantastical revelations about the Harkles and the royal family. So until then, as always, take good care of yourselves. Bye.